Tusheti is a historic region in northeast Georgia. Geography: located on the northern slopes of the Greater Caucasus Mountains, Tusheti is bordered by the Russian republics of Chechnya and Dagestan to the north and east, respectively, and by the Georgian historic provinces Kakheti and Fshatkevsheti to the south and west, respectively. The population of the area is mainly ethnic Georgians called Trishis or Trishetians. Historically, Tusheti comprised four mountain communities: the Tsova, the Gomatseri, the Perikati and the Chama, living close to the confluence of the two rivers. Administratively speaking, Tusheti is now part of the Rayoni of Orkhimata, itself part of Georgia's eastern region of Kakheti. The largest village in Tusheti is Omalo. History: the area is thought to have long been inhabited by the Tush, a subgroup of Georgians, which themselves divide into two groups, the Shegma Tush and Tsova Tush. It is uncertain whether ethnic Georgians were there first or whether Bats were. There are two major theories on the origins of the Bats. One is that the Bats are the remnant of a larger Nak-speaking people. J. Mauka speculates that they may be descended from the Kak, a historical people living in Kakheti and Tusheti. However, the belief that the Kak were originally Nak is not widely held. The Georgian name for the Bats, the Tsova Tush, may also be linked to the Tsov, a historical Nak people claimed by the Georgian historian Mlakishvili to have ruled over the kingdom of Sofan in Urartu, who were apparently forcefully moved to the region around Urbuni, a region linked to Nak peoples by place names and various historiography. However, theories linking the Bats to Transcaucasian peoples are not universally accepted. The second theory has it that the Batsbi crossed the Greater Caucasus range from Inushisha in the 17th century and eventually settled in Tusheti, and that they are therefore a tribe of Inush origin which was Christianized and Georgianized over the centuries. King Levin of Kakheti apparently granted the Bats official ownership of the lands in the Alvani Valley in exchange for their military service. Bat-speaking inhabitants of Tusheti are known to the local Georgians as the Tsovatrishis. They have a high degree of assimilation and are typically bilingual, using both Georgian and their own Bats languages. Nowadays, Bats is spoken only in a village Zemo Alvani. Anthropological studies on the Tsova Tush found them to be somewhere in between the Chechen origin Kists and the Shegma Tush of the region, but significantly closer to the Shegma Tush. The Bats have considered themselves Georgian by nation for a long period of time, and have been speaking Georgian for a while as well. The process of assimilation of the Bats continues, but many Bats have held on to their language and spoken Georgian as well, accounting for the massive Georgian influence on their language. They are Georgian Orthodox Christians. Pagan Georgians from Pkhovi took refuge in the uninhabited mountains during their rebellion against Christianization implemented by the Iberian king Miriam III in the 330s. Subsequently, they were forcibly converted to Christianity and subdued by the Georgian kings. Regarding the relationship between the Nak and Georgian Tushians, the Red Book states the following. For centuries there have been two communities next to each other in Trishesha, one speaking the Nak language, the other Old Georgian. The general name for them is Tush, according to their language either Tsovi or Shegma Tushian. They formed one single material and intellectual unit with Old Georgian elements prevailing. The descendants of the Old Georgian pagan tribes, whose ancestors had fled from Christianity to Trishesha, are regarded as Tushians. In the mountains some of the fugitives splintered off from other Old Georgian tribes. They were in close contact with the Nak tribes, which resulted in a new linguistic unit. After the collapse of the unified Georgian monarchy, Tusheti came under the rule of Kakhetian kings in the 15th century. During the German invasion of Soviet Union, a minor anti-Soviet revolt took place in the area in 1942 to 1943, seemingly linked to the similar but more large-scale events in the neighboring Inushisha. Migration to Kakheti. Many Tush families began to move southwards from Tusheti during the first half of the 19th century and settled in the low-lying fields of Alvan at the western end of Kakheti. Alvan had already belonged to the Tush as a wintering ground for their flocks for centuries. It was bequeathed to them in the 17th century in recognition of their valuable assistance in defeating a Persian army at the Battle of Bakhtryoni in 1659. Like a rushing stream did the Tushines make their way into the fortress, while the first rays of the rising sun were falling upon the grim old fortifications. The Tartars, half asleep, ran out into a field, but in vain, for now they were met by the Pshavs and Kevsors, who had ventured out from the gorge of Pankis. The Tartars, surrounded on all sides, were exterminated to the last. The first to move were the Bats people, following the destruction of one of their most important villages by a landslide in c. 1830 and an outbreak of the plague. The Tush of the Chama, Pirikati and Gomatsari communities followed later. Many of these families practiced a semi-nomadic way of life, the men spending the summer with the flocks of sheep high up in the mountains between April and October, and wintering their flocks in Kakheti. Culture. Traditionally, the Trishis are sheep herders. Trishitian Gouda cheese and high-quality wool was famous and was exported to Europe and Russia. Even today, sheep and cattle breeding is the leading branch of the economy of Highland Tusheti. The local shepherds spend the summer months in the highland areas of Tusheti but live in the lowland villages of Zemo Alvani and Kvemo Alvani in wintertime. Their customs and traditions are similar to those of other eastern Georgian mountaineers. One of the most ecologically unspoiled regions in the Caucasus, Tusheti is a popular mountain trekking venue. Pork is tabooed in Tusheti. Farmers will not raise pigs and travelers are usually advised to not bring any pork into the region. Locals will however eat pork themselves when not in Tusheti. Historical population figures from the Russian Imperial Census of 1873 given in Dr. Gustav Radsdai Chuzurandai Landa European Monography Shavasuchuntisuktim Summer 1876 divide the villages of Tusheti into 8 communities, the Pasma community, 7 villages, 133 households, consisting of 290 men and 260 women, totaling 550 souls, the Darklo community, 6 villages, 143 households, consisting of 251 men and 275 women, totaling 526 souls, the Amalo community, 7 villages, 143 households, consisting of 354 men and 362 women, totaling 716 souls, the Natsikfari community, 8 villages, 116 households, consisting of 282 men and 293 women, totaling 575 souls, the Djva Bozeli community, 10 villages, 116 households, consisting of 270 men and 295 women, totaling 565 souls, the Inderta community, 1 village, 191 households, consisting of 413 men and 396 women, totaling 809 souls, the Sigurtka community, 3 villages, 153 households, consisting of 372 men and 345 women, totaling 717 souls, the Ilyarta community, 8 villages, 136 households, consisting of 316 men and 329 women, totaling 645 souls, 1873 total, 50 villages, 1,131 households, consisting of 2,548 men and 2,555 women, in all 5,103 souls. Note: the Inderta and Sigurta communities were home to the Bats people. See also, Kiselo, Omalo, Shinako, Trishitians, external links. Watch the video with Trishitian music and landscapes. Tusheti National Park, official website, Peter Nasmythe, Walking in the Caucasus, Georgia, A Complete Guide to the Birds, Flora and Fauna of Europe's, page 121-140, ISBN 1-84511-206-7, The Bats People, Photos of Tusheti, References.